This podcast is part of the Deluxe Edition Network. To find other great shows on the network, head over to deluxeeditionnetwork.com. That's deluxeeditionnetwork.com.
Well, hopefully you guys didn't get my wife's laugh in between that. Fuck. But anyway, hello. Welcome to another episode of Stephen Gervais and Friends podcast featuring Mark Bensett, or as we're commonly known as the SG and FP. But anyway, today we're talking about the NFL playoffs, which, boy howdy, has it been really interesting. The wild card playoffs went with the 49ers going over the Seahawks 41-23. The Jaguars beating the Chargers 31-30. The Bills beating the Dolphins 34-31. The Giants beating the Vikings, which even I saw that coming, 31-24. Thanks, Kirk. The Ravens losing to the Bengals 24-17, and the Cowboys beating Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 31-14. The divisional round had the Chiefs with injured Patrick Mahomes beating the Jaguars 27-20. The Eagles beat the Giants by the same score they beat the Minnesota Vikings in the NFC Championship, but this one was the NFL divisional round, 38-7. And then of course the Bengals beat the Bills 27-10, which Stephon Diggs lost his shit. And also we had the Cowboys lose to the 49ers 19-12. So, Mark, what did you think about the playoffs?
Well, I wasn't a fan of who made it in anyways, but I was a little upset, and you're going to say different, but I was a little upset that the Vikings didn't come out better than what they did. You're going to say it was all, it was on Kirk Cousins. But quite honestly, the guy went 31 for 37. He went over, I forget how many yards, but.
Well, yeah, that may be nice.
I mean, the better team won, I guess, compared to what. And the Vikings started out great, and then they went to shit.
I mean,
actually, they started going to shit once the Lions beat them.
I can't really just blame Kirk Cousins, even though he was a big part, 4-8. But to me, and I'll say this, I really don't think Kirk is the answer, long-term answer. People can go like, well, look at his stats. Well,
I don't
Tom
think
Brady could get to the Super Bowl with fucking shit stats and win at the age of 40 something. So take your stats argument, people, and shove it.
Look at Peyton Manning when he won the Super Bowl. He did it with the shitty stats. When he had great stats, he didn't win it that year. But the second year,
Seattle was so badass that year.
But and then the next year, they came in and they dominated.
Yeah, it was a weird playoffs. I will say this though, I don't think the Seahawks should have been in the playoffs. I think Detroit should have been in the playoffs.
If it wasn't for Detroit losing to Seattle, it would have happened.
Yeah.
But you know what? I give my team all the props in the world. Lions did great. They surprised me all to hell. And hopefully this can keep going because I'm sick of my team losing all the time.
Well, definitely. So now that we're out of the divisional round, now we have the two conference championship games, the 49ers and the Eagles and the Bengals Chiefs. Who are you picking in each game?
Well, I'm going to pick I do love the Chiefs, but I think right now the hot hand is Cincinnati.
Yeah, I'm going Cincinnati too. Unless Patrick Mahomes pulls off a superhuman effort where the injury isn't bothering him, because he had a high ankle sprain.
He's going to try his damnedest to be in that game.
Oh, definitely.
And I just don't.
The Buccaneers one.
I don't want to see him hurt more than what he already is. So
And who are you taking in the 49ers Eagles?
that one's a little bit harder for me. I think, you know, the Eagles have been the dominant team this year, but for some reason, I just don't think they win it this time. I think the
Yeah,
49ers pull it off.
I I do kind of agree with that. I think if the Eagles play like they did in the regular season when Hurts wasn't there, I think they're going to be easy picking. But one thing that's showing me with San Francisco and Brock Purdy and the team, they really rallied around that guy. They weren't rallying around Trey Lance or Jimmy G this year, so they rallied around a guy that pretty much
Well,
all the announcers were shitting on.
well, yeah, you're the last one picked in the draft. You think you're going to win? They don't expect that. But I also think that the team also started to go different once they got Christian McCaffrey.
Oh,
All
definitely,
right.
definitely.
They just, once they seen, oh, we got another guy, let's do this, let's go. And then, you have two quarterbacks go down within a week apart, I think it is. Might be
Something
two.
like that, I think.
Yeah. I think that it shows what this team can do.
Yeah.
It was made to win. It was made to win a Super Bowl.
Oh, definitely. I think honestly, my prediction for the Super Bowl, I think Cincinnati's going to be in it because they're playing lights out and they want to erase what happened last year in last year's Super Bowl.
That game, when I was watching that game over at my friend Brian's house, and we're sitting there watching it and talking. All of a sudden, we look up and it's 14-0. I'm like, what the hell? I did not expect Cincinnati to go into the Bill Stadium and dominate them the way that they did.
Oh,
I
definitely.
really thought that it would be. I thought it was going to be a closer game than what it was.
Well, and the funny thing about it was in Buffalo, I believe so.
Yes,
And you
it was
got your
snowing.
elements, you got everything going your way, and you can't do anything with it. And then of
Right.
course you have crybaby
Stephon
Diggs.
Diggs
Yeah.
yelled at his own quarterback because they didn't win. Well, I don't see Diggs doing his job neither.
No, exactly.
Diggs wants to win a championship. I understand that. Then you know what?
So do the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole organization wants to win a fucking Super Bowl, and that guy's the only one bitching about shit. It's like, good lord, dude. But yeah, I think Buffalo needs. I don't think it's Josh Allen. I really don't.
No,
I
it wasn't on Josh Allen. I mean, one of the passes, okay, might have been, but
yeah,
not the whole thing.
yeah.
I think
I think they're just catching into. I think they're catching into now. You got Kansas City coming back. You got Cincinnati becoming a behemoth, and Miami. Whatever happens to Tua,
he said he's coming back next year.
Yeah.
I just read that today.
I think he's gonna be like another Steve Young type quarterback where he'll win a Super Bowl maybe, depending if they keep building that team. They need a better offensive line, and they need some more weapons for him too, because Tyreek isn't the only one.
I'm sort of curious on see what they do next year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But we'll talk about that after we pick our Super Bowl.
But yeah, I'm gonna go Cincinnati for the AFC in the Super Bowl, and I'll go. God, that Philadelphia San Francisco one, with what they did to Dallas, could go either way. I mean, it really could.
I think the way that it boils down to is any team in the NFC, I think, is, or they're probably going to win no matter what. I don't think Cincinnati's going to come out looking all good again, but I've seen. I've seen them different.
If Cincinnati goes to the Super Bowl this year, I will say they may very well win because now they've been there and they've had that taste of defeat. If they go back and lose again, you're looking at another Buffalo Bills scenario.
Yeah,
I mean,
they've
that'll
lost
be their
four
second straight one they would lose,
Right.
but
I mean, yeah, they're what? Let's see here. They went in
81 when they faced the 49ers, Joe Montana's first Super Bowl, they lost. 80, 80 88,
88 because
with
that's when Icky
the John
Woods.
Candy game.
Yeah, Icky Woods, his leg did this.
Yeah.
I remember that because it was 49ers versus Cincy.
And then that was it for Cincinnati in the Super Bowl, except for last year.
Okay, so they're 0-3. They just have one more, and they'll be tied with the Bills. And then
Bills, Vikings.
I was about to say Vikings lost 4, right?
Yeah, but the thing I'm saying with the Bills is
Theirs was consecutive.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And that's going to be really hard for Joe Burrow if that happens.
It just means that they need to load up again.
Yeah. I mean, they did really good this year in the draft, but they still have needs. Every team does.
Oh, yeah.
So, but it should be interesting. Yeah, it depends on what type of San Francisco and if Philadelphia can figure out Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey. I think that would be the biggest thing right there. I mean, Dallas, I think, held Purdy to no touchdown passes last game. So maybe they look at that film and pick it apart. That's what I would do.
Yeah, but I see it's hard. The 49ers versus the Eagles is the hardest one. I can Cincinnati versus the Chiefs. Well, that's a little bit different because there's still that catch there. Is he or isn't he playing? Mahomes. Yeah. If he plays, then the game will be really close. If he doesn't play, I think Cincinnati will. I don't want to say that because I'm a Michigan fan. I like Chad Henne, but I think that something bad will happen then. I think it'll be a slaughter.
Well, I think with Patrick Mahomes, if he's going to play, keep him in the shotgun all day because you're not going to want him under center.
No, he'd be too much pressure on that foot.
Well, not only that, okay, you're putting a guy who has an injured ankle underneath center. The first thing you got to do is drop back. Well, he'll fall on his ass. But I think Cincinnati
got him taped up.
Yeah, I think Cincinnati would be smart to blitz the hell out of him.
Well, we agreed to that one.
Yeah. The game plan that I would have if I'm San Francisco against Philadelphia, Jalen Hurts has got to be out. And I'm not talking they should injure the guy, but I'm just saying fluster the hell out of him. Because I think they did one of their games this year. I think they did beat Philadelphia. But I think that was without Hurts. I'll have to look into that.
Let's see here. I'll look at their schedule. That'll be better.
And with Philadelphia, if I'm devising a game plan against San Francisco, go after Brock Purdy. Make him throw wild passes, get that offense off the field. Don't let Greg Kittle touch it, or George Kittle touch it, and don't let Christian McCaffrey decide the game.
Yeah, I was about to say McCaffrey would alone. I mean, they got two great running backs as it is, but McCaffrey, he's good at a lot of other stuff. But the 49ers didn't play the Eagles this year.
Shit. Okay.
I was
thought
shocked.
they did.
So did I. That's why I had to look it up.
But it should be pretty interesting. Like I said, that game, that's my only toss-up game. The Cincinnati Kansas City Chiefs, the way it looks with Mahomes not being 100%, I would be hard pressed to go against Cincinnati in that one. But who knows?
Right
Chad,
now, I
anyone-
have. Right now,
Mike-
I have the 49ers versus Cincy for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Now, me again. I don't think Cincinnati does it this year. I think 49ers will do it. They've been chomping at the door the last 3 out of the 4 NFC title games, or
Something
So-
like that, yeah.
I think it's time for them to win a championship.
Yeah.
But if Joe Burrows does win, then I'll be happy for him.
He deserves it.
Yeah, especially what he did with the Bengals to turn them around.
Well, I mean, look at what happened last year when they were on that run. He gets injured. I think he got injured his rookie year, which he was having a phenomenal rookie year. And then the next year, in one of the games, he's grabbing at that leg again, but then is able to come back later in the season, have that run, get to the Super Bowl, which, yeah, they did lose. I mean, they still could have came back. I mean, it wasn't out of the realm of them coming back, but they should have never let the Rams score that last touchdown.
I wanted the Rams to win.
Oh, so did I. Just for Stafford. He deserved
He
it.
deserved it. And then the second year there, he gets hurt all to hell.
Yeah. I'm
But that
hard-pressed-
happens.
Well, yeah. I'm hard pressed to say I want him to come back too.
I think he's going to do it, but I don't think he's going to go too much longer. He's already got a Hall of Fame career.
Yeah. That Super Bowl had to cement it.
If not, then something's seriously wrong.
It's the Hall of Fame voters. They still haven't put Jim Marshall in.
Well, I
But-
think they shouldn't allow him to vote for that. Have the fans vote.
I'm surprised. I think Ken Anderson's finally going in, which, if he is, that's about fucking time.
We won't know until after this week, I believe. We'll
Yeah.
find out right before the Super Bowl. I believe that's what they said.
And I hope Jared Allen gets in.
I think, I think that'll happen.
But yeah, that's I think that's gonna be our episode for today. Next week, after we find out what happens in these to see who goes to the Super Bowl, we'll have an episode about that. Next Tuesday we're having Brett, I think his name is, from Good Real Hunting, I think it is, gonna be on the podcast. We're gonna be talking about I think it's just an interview, to be honest with you, but I gotta hype that shit up. Thursday toss up, so see what happens after that.
Thursday
Also-
we have Kyle's. Or you mean this Thursday?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not doing one.
no.
My daughter's birthday.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if I got to do one, that's fine.
Yeah. But on the second we have Kyle's podcast.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And then on the 4th, we have Tom. Oh, no, we're not doing anything on the 4th. That's right, because he just wants to do a Zoom meeting and BS about
Right. All wrestling and stuff. It's not.
Yeah.
I don't think they're recording or anything. Just for fun.
Yeah, I think it's just for fun.
Yeah, I like that. I like that idea when he came up with it, or when he told me about it. I was like, hell yeah.
I am very surprised and very shocked and can't wait for WWE 2K23 to come out. I
knew
give a shit
I
if
knew you
it's-
would be just for that. You're gonna play the war games like
Oh.
100 times in a row.
But the thing is, like, a lot of the YouTubers did bring up, which maybe I'll do a review on that or share some shit on that on Thursday. Who knows? But yeah, some YouTubers are saying that I wonder if they're gonna allow you to take it to WrestleMania and all that, or if it's just gonna be NXT or Survivor Series.
Well, if it's like that, then you could put it in customs and make it anytime you want.
That is true.
But could you imagine having a War Games at WrestleMania?
Not if it was the night one. Well, maybe if it was the night one, night two thing.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Have it have that would be interesting.
main
But
event.
not. I still think that they should. I know WWE won't do it, but I still think if you're gonna do that route, make War Games. Well, why don't you make it, men and women together? It could be interesting.
It could be, but at the same time, I think it would be too much of a liability. Maybe.
It's more along the lines of it's not a liability. It's the fact that they're showing men hitting women.
Yeah.
And women hitting men, and vice versa. Keep going back and forth.
And in you can actually bring when your wrestlers goes down to enter, you can bring weapons in too.
Yeah, see, I haven't. You told me about it the other day, and I was like, I knew that they were going to eventually put it in, but I didn't know when. But
they did
I'm
it.
happy now. I want to go look at some of the work for it.
Yeah. There's a lot of like Smack Talks, Macho T, Assemble. They've been talking about it. So yeah, it should be pretty interesting. Yeah, I think Thursday. You know what? Yeah, I'll do that myself. Thursday at 7 p.m. I'll either do a pre-recorded or live stream. More will be in the fan group about WWE 2K23. Have pretty much a lot of the news that you need to know about it. And also, we want to throw a shout out to the Redeemables, who are a new podcast on the network. And in the not very near future, I'll be popping up another podcast because I said I would do it, and I'll do it. I'll be the cheerleader for that podcast. I have no problem with it.
Oh, you mean my podcast?
Yeah.
I wasn't going to say anything just yet, but
No, I'm
yeah,
just saying.
Yeah, I got a new podcast that's going to start February 10th. Our first guest is Landon. He's been ventriloquist, and he's really good. I found him on YouTube when I found him, and I've liked his stuff ever since.
And if you want to know more details about his podcast, I can add them. It's called Talking with a T at the end.
It's talking shit. Come on.
And go to subscribe to it. There's not any content on there just yet, but subscribing to it will show him that, hey, you know what? It's going to work out.
We'll have a trailer up sometime tomorrow.
Yep.
Sometime tomorrow, yeah. Other than that, that's the most that I can tell you right now. I got a few. I between this podcast and my podcast, my month is full next month.
Well, yeah, and if you ever feel like you just want to do that podcast, that's fine.
Well,
I don't want you to burn the candle. Yeah, we'll deal with that when it comes. But anyway, thank you all for watching. Thank you for the amazing love and support. Thank you to the Deluxe Edition Network. And also, I want to say thank you to Mark for being here. I know how hard it is usually to want to do these pre-recorded things because, let's be honest, they get kind of boring.
They get boring, but when we pick little, this one's not as bad because we're only doing a half hour of it compared to what it could have been. Most of the time, it just depends on what we're talking about. Depends on if it's boring or not.
Yeah. And this will be uploaded to the YouTube channel by tomorrow. Please like, subscribe, and comment. And Mark, send us out.
Bye. Oh, Guys, have a good night.
I guess we're going with that.
Yeah,
Bye.
you guys have a good night.
Night.